Welcome guys, I was not planning to record this video today, but we need to talk. So this information was leaked from Roundtable, someone on Reddit, and then I saw this info on official Albion Online Twitch channel. They were discussing these incoming changes, possible incoming changes, but probably it will be on a live server sooner or later. So let's start and let's talk about this. Overview. One of the main criticisms of Albion up to this day is that it is very difficult to play as a solo players, true, and small groups in the open world. With a concept that will provide a much better experience for solo players for PvE and PvP, the Mists of Abalone. These are randomized open world clusters that are entered by special portals, which makes it impossible to join a cluster as a group. At last. Okay, let's continue. These mists are similar to the roads of Avalon, but with less predictable clusters and more dynamic, ever-changing content, and a bit more open spaces. Our vision for this is that they are constantly changing. Relatively unpredictable is that you would be encouraged to be constantly on the move. With lots of things to explore and the chance for many PvP encounters in an experience that is similar to the open world, but without the possibility to amass large groups or set up static gang squads at specific locations. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Mist of Avalon is primarily intended as a solo activity, but we also considering adding an additional duo version, so that this content can also be played together with a friend. Well, duo is nice. Duo is nice, don't get me wrong. But solo is much more important, much more important. How Mists of Avalon work. The mists can be entered from the open world and from within the roads through specific mists entrance portals. So basically like current Avalonian portals. What's special about the mist connection portals is that when you enter one, you'll be brought to a relatively random mist cluster. So let's continue. Now here is the key point of the system. This random cluster that you enter when going through a mist portal is different for each individual player. Even if a party enters through the same portal, they all end up in different mist clusters, making it impossible to enter as a group. Also, there is no limit on how many players can actually enter a portal. That's not needed here. So you understood, yeah? Let's imagine there is a portal in open world. Will be no charges at all. You can enter whenever you like. You enter this portal, and if your friend will follow you, he will appear in totally different location, which is actually not bad. I love it. I love it. Let's continue. Mist connection portals are strictly one way. You enter another zone through them. You cannot return to where you came from. You have to find a new exit. Each cluster will, however, have quite a lot of them. Okay, so there will be no road back. Nice. You can, with a long cast time, A out of the mists. Now this is very interesting. So you can actually A out. This will take you to the last mist entrance that you used. So you'll be able to teleport back. Okay, back to the roads or the normal open world. We also... Oh wait, so you can enter this new content not only from an open world, but even from a regular Avalonian roads. Okay, understood. Would also make sure that players cannot abuse these to try to cycle through various mists clusters. Enter, then A out, enter again, by adding a long cooldown on the A out of the mists. So okay. In this case it will work. It will depend on how long cooldown will be actually. If it will be 1 hour cooldown, I think it will be not enough. It should be around 3 hours or something like this, in my opinion. Okay, let's continue. Each mist cluster will provide a range of mobs, resources, solo chests, and other solo-friendly objectives that also work in the open world. We would allow all mob factions and resources types to add to the sense of discovery inside these mists. Using mounts is possible, and generally the experience would be emulate the open world, but only on a small scale. So we will be able to find regular tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8 mobs like in open world. I thought there will be mobs like in regular Avalonian Road, but probably not. Okay, let it be. The rewards on average will be lower than Black Zone rewards. Okay, but due to random nature of these clusters, we can have some value spikes to provide a more enjoyable experience. So again, yeah, rewards will be lower, and I understand why, because risk of dying will be lower also, since there will be only solo players around. But luck, oh, I hate luck. Guys, you know I am unlucky when I'm roaming around solo these Avalonian roads. I hope it will not affect my gameplay, because I got problems with luck. But I think the rewards will be fine, more than enough. Okay, let's continue. Inside the mist cluster, you will find other mist portals that go further into the mists, or sometimes exits that go into the roads or directly into open worlds. Well, we figure it out about this, yeah, about information that was higher. Okay, got it. Let's go next. The actual cluster that you get sent to when you go through the mist connection portal is randomized. But not totally random. Well, probably in the they will work in the same way like solo random dungeons right now. Instead, we will monitor how activity in terms of players already there and how depleted in terms of mob skill, chests looted and resource gathered each cluster in the pool is. The more activity and the more depleted a cluster already is, the less likely it is that additional player will get sent into it. Oh, I got it. This distribution would also help us to send players from the same alliance to different mists clusters. So game would actually track what kind of player is in this cluster. So it would separate guild members and ally members. It is actually cool system. If it will work, it would be awesome. Okay, no matter what, each cluster will close and a new one will open after a certain amount of time to discourage players from camping within one. In case they might form a group, we can make sure that it doesn't last long. Okay, so it will be hard to gank such solo players near these entrances. It is a good thing, it is a good. Also, the system will monitor globally how many players are currently in the mists and can then dynamically add or remove clusters to make sure that the numbers of clusters fits the number of players. So amount of these entrances will directly depend on how active this activity is in Albion. Again, if it will work, it would be awesome, really. Let's continue. As the mists are pool of dynamic clusters, it gives us tons of options for variety. First of all, we can make the clusters themselves very interesting. We can put a lot of randomization into them, chests, mobs, etc. And we could even have special clusters that are very rare and only appear occasionally, like Avalonian ruins clusters. Okay, it would be plus minus the same as golden chest in solo random dungeons. Something like this, probably. Okay, I removed my camera a bit so you would be able to read it by yourself. Okay, let's continue. The mists can also be used to enter and exit the Outlands, through it's far more chaotic than using the normal roads, as you cannot pre-plot your path. This unpredictability should offset the potentially increased safety in the mists. Well, okay. We are aware that escaping through a portal is much more powerful in the mists than in the classical roads, as you cannot rely by followed. Well, yeah, actually, because let's imagine a group of people will try to hunt you down, even if you will find such portal and you will log into this portal, group will not follow you because again there will be in totally different locations if they decide to follow you. We'll offset this by fact that in the mists you'll get fair fights for more often. And we also might prevent players from entering it with specific mounts, like battle mounts. It is a good change, because yeah, imagine a solo player on a battle mount. But it will not... Anyway, it will be at some point toxic environment, because people will still use 8.3 items. Just imagine, like in Corrupted Dungeons. Literally like in Corrupted Dungeons. You'll be safe to use 8.3 items and farm this new activity non-stop with super high mobility and strong builds. So yeah, okay, since there will be no IP cap, I don't know what it will be. And anyway, they should add such content. If they will, it will be cool. And the fact that there will be 8.3 guys shouldn't stop them from doing this. Okay, let's continue. We also would add an additional non-full loot version for the blue and yellow zones. That would be a nice training ground for new players and would be a nice addition for faction warfare, which offers soft PvP ZvZ, but isn't great for small scale. Actually, this one is super important change, especially since we got lots of casual players, even on mobile devices. It is actually nice. I love it. I'm glad that they are adding non-full loot areas like this. It is very important. There could, in theory, also be a group version of this that could allow two-man groups to join together. Oh, wait, I missed something. Before, they will add a nice training ground for newer players and would be a nice addition to faction warfare. Aha, so faction flagging would work inside of these dungeons, inside of this story, not dungeons, inside of these areas, inside of these roads, you can faction flag. Interesting. Okay. But will it be possible for full loot areas? Probably also it will be possible or not. Huh. I really wonder. Okay, let's continue. There could in theory also be a group version of this that could allow two-man groups to join together in these group mists. Connection portals would allow up to X players to always go to the same cluster when using a portal, if they're in the same party. Note that if we do group mists, the group mists would be entirely separated from the solo mists. There will be no direct cross connections between them. And this is very interesting. I'm not sure is adding two-man groups is a good idea. But I got feeling that if they will add it, it would be awesome option. Why? Let me explain. I can bet there will be lots of solo hardcore players that would go in these two-man portals and will farm these old chests and all mobs around as a solo player. They will. 100%, and probably I will be one of them. I will go into this two-man groups portal and will try to survive and will try to take fights 1 versus 2. Definitely I will. There is not even doubt to this. I will. SBI, if you are planning to add solo, please add two-man groups. It would be awesome. Oh, I cannot wait. Okay, let's continue. Roads of Abalone improvements, which is very important too, because they suck right now. They are in horrible state. For groups in the range around 5 players, we would improve the activities in the Roads of Abalone. We want to apply many learnings from our open world rework and apply it to the roads. Which mobs that can charge up and dynamically spawn in treasure chests instead of fixed timers. Actually, it is not bad. If they will, for real, if these chests on the Avalonian roads would spawn randomly, it would be much better. Plus, they will have much better rewards. I only will be glad if they will add it. Okay, we think the roads network is extremely useful for transportation and outland access. but can be improved to provide better gameplay for small groups inside. True, it can. Our current impression is that for groups of this size, a persistent open world experience is more desirable, like the current roads network. But we are also interested in hearing your feedback on this. Well, type your feedback in comment section below, guys. And conclusion. In a nutshell, the goal of the Mist is to provide dynamic open world content that is not susceptible. Oh, how to read this word? Susceptible to zerks. Well, true. We want to make it fun by giving it a bit rogue-like feel when discovering a range of clusters with unpredictable content and variety. As they are directly connected to the normal open world, it also offers a connection to quality of open world gameplay, as it will make it much easier to get in and out of the Outlands, as long as you don't care too much where you end up with, which could improve the frequency in which new and mid-core players try to venture into the Black Zone. Well, it's true. Okay. In terms of rewards balance, the Mists would be balancing according to the risk level. They'd say sit somewhat below the Outland open world, especially if the Outland zones are charged up. Okay, if we decide to start working on the Mists at the same time, we would look at the classical roads as well and improve the overall roads experience. So yeah, if someday devs will introduce us these changes, they're gonna not only implement this new system for solo and duo players, maybe only for solo players, but also they will revoke Roads of Abalone. And I think this is the first thing that they need to work on. Because right now, Avalonian roads are super bad. Rewards are low, they are almost dead, almost no people around, and they need to do something with this. Open world itself and black zones and red zones are more than enough. They, of course, they need to fix chests at some point, this channel time, etc., maybe a spawn time. But overall, open world is okay, but for small scale and zerg fights. Definitely not for solo players. And I don't think it will affect population at some point, because you rarely see solo players in black zones. They are in minority. So they would just go into such content if they don't want to participate in corrupted dungeons, fights. So, basically that's all, guys. I hope you will enjoy the next content update. I'm waiting for it. I hope it will boost Albion population even more and provide us with much more content. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Press like button and subscribe on the channel. Don't forget to type your comments and your thoughts. What do you think about this incoming update? And yeah, see you very soon. Bye guys.